Welcome back to StateYoCase, live on Pi Radio with myself, Toomey, and Ethan Hill. And we got a special guest in the building, Mr. RJ. How are you doing, my man? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Thanks for having me here and that.
Yeah? Manchester man himself, yeah?
Money, South money in the building.
It's good, man.
We're all just trying to get big like my man. Trying to get big like you, bro, man.
The gyms need to open again, man, for that.
Oh, okay. I hear that.
He's already on fitness mode.
I'm still fit, but the muscles are getting smaller.
Oh, is it?
I think everyone's having that problem at the minute. I'm not speaking for myself, by the way, but you know.
Because it's tough to have a song like Gym Talk if your muscles are not really looking the part.
I know, but it's, yeah.
Can you tell us how that came about, like Gym Talk?
Gym Talk. Do you know what? Yeah, when I write lyrics, the lyrics just come. Do you know what I mean? And I often write to a beat first, so I'll write to either a beat or someone else's track sometimes, just whatever gets my vibe. Do you know what I mean? And I found this beat anyway on SoundCloud. Some American guy. And I started writing to it, and that just come out of that. I'm trying to get big like you, bro. And then,
such a cold like.
And I was like, obviously, I go to the gym, and that a lot of people go to the gym. They're into training and that, and you hear that all the time. Like if someone says, "Oh yeah, you're doing all right." Yeah, just trying to get big like you. It's just like everyone's just stroking egos, aren't they? So just come out of that really. But then obviously, when I started writing the bars, started putting a bit of gym jargon in there, like like push pull legs and swinging, whatever I say about not swinging. Found the right weights and all that. Just sort of like metaphors for being in a good place in life, coming out of sort of a struggle I've been in. A lot of my music sort of centers around that, like coming out of a struggle that I was in for a long time and coming to where I am now, but using sort of the gym and training as metaphors for
like
that,
an analogy of some sort. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even like what you mentioned now, like it's apparent in that growing pains.
Yeah.
Freestyle. You're always talking about a place of pain or a place of like, do you get me? That sort of, and you put it in your music from that, like, you know what I mean? So what do you think it is about music that helps you kind of be able to express that sort of pain and kind of things that have happened to you in the past? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think even from back when I was young, like 16, 17, even though I was just writing bars sometimes, just like to write bars about nothing.
Yeah.
It always ended up being a reflection of where I was and what's going on in my head. Not necessarily even what's going on physically. Do you know what I mean? Just like what's always going on in my mind. And that's all music's ever been for me. It's just been an expression of myself, and I can only express myself. I can't express like I could go into the narrative of someone else and think of a character in, because like a lot of people do that.
A lot of
make tracks in that way, and
that alter egos.
Yeah, and I've done a bit of that. I've wrote a bit of that recently, actually. But it just feels right. Like for me, when I'm writing, it's just an expression of where I'm at and who I am.
What's your your musical journey like? Is there anything when you were growing up, or where did you start? Was it stylistically to where you are now? Has it been a big change, or has it been kind of the same style you're doing now?
Yeah. So. I mean, I started writing over American hip-hop beats when I was like 13, 14. I didn't even know about grime. Then I found out about grime about a year later when I was about 15. I recorded a track over Fat Joe Lean Back at some guy's at some guy's house in Sale where I live, and it was awful, but but he put a Sidewinder mix on the CD, burnt me, with my track on it. So I had my track, the instrumental, and like I said, this Sidewinder mix, never heard of it before, and I was just obsessed with it. Like I was listening to Kano spraying over Ghetto Coyote rhythm, like KA/Kano with a flow again, all like them old school like classic bars that them guys spat was on this Sidewinder pack, and I was just like, yo, like what is this? Do you know what I mean? The tempo. So I started writing grime from there, and then, as you do, I found a few people in my area who was sort of coming into it at the same time as me as well. And we became the first guys from our area, really, who was spitting. Obviously, I'm from Sale, so if you go to like your Chorlton, your Old Trafford, your Stretford, your Moss Sides and your Wally Range, there was people spitting there probably a few years before, do you know what I mean? And that was when obviously you had like your Shifties and your Mayhem crew and all the crews from that time. And very quickly I found out about all these people and everything that was going on, and I was just sucked into it, man. I just loved it. Like You know what I mean? Like, there was someone posted something on Facebook a few years ago. Yeah, it was Crazy Titch and J2K performing. Might have even been at. It wouldn't have been at the. It wouldn't have been at the Mo, but it was at some. It was on some stage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where like obviously it was a pretty big thing, and they were just going sick, screaming, and I remember sharing it, just saying, you know what, bare people won't ever get this, and I feel sorry for you, because for me, it just does something in me. I just love it. But yeah, so grime really was where that sort of took off. But then obviously I'm into grime and rap. I'm into music. And as I suppose I started growing up and maturing a little bit, I started listening to just more people talking sense. You know, J. Cole was a big one for me. Kendrick. You know, that era, I'm that era, do you know what I mean? I went to J. Cole's first concert in Manny when it was at Academy 3, when there was hardly anyone there.
Before
like,
arenas.
Drake come out and done one tune with him, do you know what I mean? It was mad, bro. Like, like I was there, do you know what I mean? I was wild. Into all that.
That's wild.
So yeah, that's where it was really. I had a lot of time away as well from doing music myself. Which we can get into if you want.
Of course, man.
So, you know, obviously just life took over.
As it always does. You know?
As it does, you know what I'm saying? You know, you become more concerned with, you know, making yourself financially stable and all the stuff that goes with it. I lost love for it as well. And I was partying a lot, drinking a lot, going out a lot, just living a lifestyle which I don't live today.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, you know, I had some mint times. Some of it was good, some of it was bad.
Course,
it ended up being bit more bad than good towards the end, and I started changing a lot about my life really. And then after 2 years of moving away from a lot of things and concentrating on myself, I came back to music because I realised that it was the thing that was missing.
But what was that point of, like, you know, where it was like the pivotal point where you're like, okay, I need to do something now, like I need to get back because this is going a bit far, you know what I mean? So
Growing Pains.
Right.
I met JSD at a birthday meal of our mate D Jordan, you know, Jordan.
Shout out Mitigation.
Yeah, so he's my boy, he's Jay's boy. Me and Jay didn't know each other. Go to a birthday meal, me and Jay are sat at the end of the so everyone's down that way, me and Jay are sat at the end of the table opposite each other.
Right.
Like it was, you know what I mean? Just like we was placed there. Obviously chatting because it would be a bit weird if we didn't chat, do you know what I mean? Just having a chat about anything really, like what you having off the menu, do you know what I mean? And then Dean shouts, yo, Rob can rap, you know, to Jay. Jay's like, mate, I've got a studio if you ever want to get in. And I was like, yeah, maybe, you know, I've not really done it for a while. And I was always writing, even in the times when I was inactive. I was not as much as I write now, obviously, but I was writing, you know, every now and again and whatever. And I'd show me close mates and that. And that summer I just hit him up. I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna hit him up, got in, and we made Growing Pains in 3 hours.
That was the first track.
That was the first track, bro.
You're lying,
I'd had Growing Pains wrote for like 2 years, so I went there with it written.
Yeah.
Jay made a beat. Do you know? Jay made a beat. I got in, done it, and obviously because I'd had the bars for so long, I didn't need to practice them. I'd practiced them for time. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So a couple of other sessions went into that track, just mixing it, cleaning it up and that. But 3 hours and that was done, and then I went away from that and was like, yo, man.
The crazy thing about that video, obviously, have you seen it, Ethan? Growing Pains.
No, I've only watched the Gym Talk.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I watched like a load of your videos anyway, but Growing Pains, you know, when you performed it, bro, it's mad. It's as if you'd written it right then and there, and whatever emotion was going through your head, I could see it in your face. Like, you really performed that track, and like I think Growing Pains is obviously a beautiful title for that, but I can tell that whatever you overcame, like, or whatever you were enduring, whatever time, like I could see it in your performance, even when you ended it and you just your head down, like, do you get me? I know it's a video, but do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I really felt that, bro. Like,
I mean,
you know,
like when I was performing it
right now,
I related to it so much, bro. Like, do you get me? You know, because I've had a few things I've gone through, and
Growing Pains is a classic title as well. You know, like,
exactly
like the Ludacris Growing Pains. So like, obviously, again, that's how I know. Like, as soon as you say Growing Pains, I'm like, there's only, you know,
definitely some.
I remember when I was just getting into hip hop, like, my friends that were older than me used to love Ludacris a lot of the time because of, obviously, I guess the way he rapped was similar to some of the artists over here, you know, like the speed and stuff. People love that about Ludacris, and it was like Growing Pains was like, if you've heard this song, it was like you know what I mean, one of the standout songs. For
he had
him,
the craziest videos as well. Like
yeah,
himself
yeah.
and
So
stuff like that.
the title means a lot for sure.
Yeah.
I'm watching it right now, by the way. I just got it up on YouTube. I'm literally watching it. You're on the yellow screen right now.
So definitely, is it fair to say like music kind of saved your life to some degree? Like, you know, because you're saying Growing Pains was that pivotal point of like, you know what, like I need to make a change here. Like,
I can't say music saved my life. Something had to come before I got back into music, which was I had to get sober. Basically, I had to stop drinking alcohol.
Okay.
So that and finding strength and a belief in God.
Yes.
And building a relationship with God from that day on. That's what saved my life.
Wow.
But then I believe that, you know, what's meant for you will come back to you, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I believe I'm a talented writer and a talented artist in music. You know, definitely a talented writer, and I'm growing and getting better as an artist, do you know what I'm saying? And you know, that's what's meant for me, do you know what I mean? And it came back to me, you know what I mean? It came back to me, and obviously at the moment, bro, there's good energy around me. It feels amazing, bro. Like obviously, like I've always known that, I've always believed that I'm good enough. Yeah. But I never worked hard enough. I'm working hard enough now, and it's showing. Do you know what I mean? And
amazing.
People notice hard work. Do you know what I mean? But it's just it's nice. Obviously, I do it because I love to do it anyway. Yeah. But it is nice when you start getting a few more eyes. You know what I mean? Cause,
for sure.
You know, I literally had someone another rapper just comment on my thing then before coming here, saying that he commented on Growing Pains because I reposted it literally yesterday, and he was like, you know what, this track inspired me to be a bit more real in my music, and the fact that my track's done that for another guy who's been in the game, he's been in the game 20 odd years, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, man, like what more could you want to make music for, do you know what I mean, other than to touch someone in that way? Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you ever think about it, like when you're recording, like this could go out to just, this could do something to somebody else. Yeah. And whatever you're saying,
it's hard I think it's really hard when you're making music. I think it's hard to even fathom that, because you're so involved sometimes. The only time you ever realise that music changes or does that is when you've stepped out of it, or it's been so long.
100%.
Then you're like, like, but when you're doing it right there and then, you're like putting it. Sometimes I don't even like look at streams and stuff like that, because I just don't want to be attached. Once I put music out, I'm just. Because I don't want to be like always watching, or I'm just like, let it go, move on. That's how I am. So like, I don't, sometimes when people message me, months say, oh, this is good, I'm like, oh, okay. Just more surprise than anything. Like,
for me, it's just more gratitude. Like, it's like, you know what, them little comments, I'm grateful for anybody who takes the time to listen or watch my thing, do you know what I mean? And, but no, I don't make something with the idea of I wonder who this.
Like you're gonna change someone.
Not even like that, but like just the kind of like, do you understand the impact you have? Like, do you understand what kind of impact you can have on somebody else?
I think I do, yeah, because
do you feel me?
Because I mean, at the moment I'm a working man. Do you know what I mean? And I work in a job where I'm having an influence on people every day. Okay. So through my music, I'm very careful how I'm putting across what I'm trying to say. Do you know what I mean? I have to be as well at this stage in my life. Do you know what I'm saying? Right. But I look at that as a blessing as well, because if I didn't have to be as careful and think about things the way I do, I maybe wouldn't be. And that probably is the old mentality that I used to have, but got me into a lot of trouble and brought me a lot of pain. Do you know what I mean? Because I've got responsibility. And I have to think about things just a bit more than I would do if I wasn't in the job that I'm in. I believe that it's probably done me a favour in the long run. Do you know what I mean?
So you think being careful is not necessarily a limitation; it's more of a blessing, like you say, like because
100%.
Sometimes when you're trying to be careful, you could end up overthinking, or you could end up. Do you understand what I mean?
Because being careful is just stopping me talking about mad things that are not a part of my life anymore. So I don't really need to talk on them in that way. I think it's easy
as a writer as well to feed into stuff that people are doing anyway.
Of course,
because you just feel like it's the right fit. Sometimes people are like, they're this person and then they're a different person in their music, and I'm like, they're like so different people. Do you know what I mean? They're totally different. You think it's funny how they feel like they can just say that because they're rapping, because it's just the genre, and I'm just going to say some outlandish stuff just for the sake of it. Sometimes,
but it comes back to my point of, do you understand the impact you have on somebody else? So, and like you say,
and also a lot of people don't have like the the personal. Like, I'm gonna take charge of myself and what. Some people just don't have that. They're just like, I'm just gonna say what I want and leave, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's really good to be responsible in that way. I think it's really shows growth as well. You know.
Yeah. So, no, for sure, man. That's it's real interesting to hear. Like, we're gonna get into homegrown. Yeah. We're gonna get into homegrown. We're gonna get into homegrown, but you're live on Pirate Radio.
I don't think you sent me homegrown. Almost positive. Did you send me homegrown?
No, that's his album.
The album's called that. Yeah.
He's not gonna send us the whole album.
Oh, okay.
We're not that exclusive yet.
Looking at the tracks, like, got them all on.
Would you like to introduce this next track?
Which one? I've got at the top. I've got Trapped. The top one.
No, we'll do that for okay. Let's get Gym Talk.
You gotta do Gym Talk, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, man. Kick off with that.
You wanna introduce the track, RJ?
Oh yeah. So this is it's not my latest single. It come out, but I've been putting them out. I've been banging them out recently. So the last one before this one was Gym Talk, rap banger. Here we go. Let's have it.
Let's go. State Your Case live on Pirate Radio.